So, story time. If you don't know yet, my name is Shedrica, creator and founder of the Chronically Planned Collective. And I really want to dive deep because I really want you to understand where all this came from and how I got this concept. Well, first, let me take you back to 2008. So, back in October in 2008, actually specifically October the 15th, 2008, I was diagnosed with lupus. Years before that, I was having symptoms mainly just around my skin and some joint pain, some hair loss, but I didn't really know what that was. I was in my early 20s, not really thinking about me being sick. Really? So I really didn't take it seriously. And I'm glad that God kept me because, baby, I didn't realize what I was getting myself into. Lupus took a toll on me, not because I was just super sick, but just because I wasn't listening to my body. I wasn't listening to the doctors. I was not doing what I was supposed to do. So that led me to be really sick to the point where I was not able to walk, able to speak, or do anything on my own. So that caused me to be down for the count, you know what I mean, for a good little while. But God had his hand on me, and he knew that I was going to use this particular thing for the greater good. And that's just basically what I believe God does anyway. He takes something for you to use it as a lesson and a blessing to others. And I'm going to stand on that. And I don't really care what nobody else thinks. Anyways, moving forward, I navigated lupus mentally, just not really understanding what and how serious it was. And being so lost and lonely. Come on. Back in 2008, there was not enough information, let alone resources the way that it is now. It's so many communities that in spaces that we can get with each other and have conversations. But back then, I was so alone. And so going on social media, even though it is damaging to your brain, it actually helped my mental health. Because that was the number one thing. People always ask me all the time, what is the number one thing that you struggle with when it comes to living with lupus? And it is going to be my mental. I think that lupus will trick you, or sickness will trick you into feeling like your life is over. The pain, the fatigue, the whatever that you're juggling will trick you to believe that there's no other way out and there is no other side. And this is why I say belief. Whatever that you believe, you are absolutely right. So if you believe that you are healed, that you are healthy, that you're going to get on the other side, then baby, that is going to be your truth. But back then I wasn't thinking like that. I battled so hard trying to get my mental in a space where I could find people that thought like me, that felt like me, that hurt like me. And I just never could find that till I stopped looking. I started leaning more into my faith. I started leaning more on God and what he was telling me to do with these, because I knew that I wasn't going through this for no reason. I just felt it in my gut. And so I read my Bible. I did devotionals. I did prayer journals. I read my verse of the day. I sat down with God and I was just quiet. And I started reading books, motivation, self-help. I can't get away from a self-help book. For the life of me, cannot read a regular book that's a story, because I just believe in growth and healing, and I like to see the transformation of those stories. So that's going to get me a documentary and a biography. Is going to get me any day. Besides the point, I just really needed love. I needed support. I needed encouragement, and I needed to believe. I needed to believe that there was life outside of this chronic illness. But in order to believe, I was like, that's not enough. You can't just believe if something is true for you, but don't do nothing about it. And so that's when planning came into play. I started sitting out on the floor with magazines, vision boards, and just creating what was in my mind that God had given me to see on a board. And from there, I was like, I have a vision, but what am I going to do about it? I need to take some type of tool. And I was like, a planner, duh. And I started writing stuff down. Just a simple notebook could get you started. Writing down your meals, writing down your mood, writing down your supplements and the things that you need to take, whatever little main task that you really need to do. And I started simple, but it led me to this. Planning led me to building a business online, building a family, achieving some things that I never thought that I would because of the mental setbacks that I had because of lupus. And it allowed me to build community. And I want the same thing for you. So I am going to walk you through all the things that I've did on the planning side in order to build myself up and do it slowly so that I don't feel overwhelmed. Because the one thing about entrepreneurship, or as a chronicpreneur, an entrepreneur that has a chronic illness, there are just not people that are like us that can be shared in the same space where you can create, get of ideas, just have conversations, because the everyday lupus warriors, sometimes they're just trying to feel better. They are not in a space where they can build a business just yet. And so I needed that. As a mom, as a person that's juggling the lifestyle and my health at the same time, I just needed everything to be at one place. Just like how I am when it comes to planning, it is a structured setup. And so I am going to teach you how to do that. And I am so glad that you are here and that you are trusting me on this journey. And there will be other ladies that will give you a part of this journey, which is faith, encouragement, mindset, healing your body, healthier lifestyles, planning. And then we get into the business side of podcasting and building a business without social media, how to use Canva. It's so much more. So again, thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you in the next video.